So Steam is being sued in the UK for unfair business practices. They're being sued in a class action lawsuit, or collective action as they call it in the UK. It is identical to a US class action lawsuit in a lot of ways. One of the ways it's identical is that it's really just the lawyers pushing this a lot more than the consumers pushing this, because the lawyers saw an easy bag. Like, let's be real. Valve did try to get this lawsuit dropped, but ultimately the UK courts denied it. And they denied it for some pretty decent reasons, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't think Valve is the saint company a lot of people make them out to be. So there's two big reasons this collective lawsuit has been filed against Valve. The first reason is Valve imposing platform parity obligations for price, and this is kind of a big deal. Basically, let's say you're a game developer and you make a game. If you put that game on Steam, you have to price every version of the game the same as the Steam copy. So if you put it on Epic Game Store and it's $30, it has to also be $30 on Steam. And there was some pushback with this claim of Valve saying this only applied to Steam keys, but the truth is, it just didn't. Like, there are leaked emails from Valve that prove that this was for every single store. If this only applied to Steam keys being the same price, I would think this is totally fine. Like, if Steam wants to make sure that the Steam keys you're selling are the same price as, like, on Steam, I think it's totally fine. My problem is that if you want to be competitive and put your game on Epic Games for less money, you can't do that. That should not be the case. Like, if you're a game developer and for whatever reason you want to utilize the Epic Games Store, you should be able to undercut Steam if you want to. That should just be an option. Like, I'm sorry, Valve dictating how much the game costs on every single platform is just blatantly anti-competitive. Like, let's be real. Now, the other reason this collective action has been going forward is because Valve takes a 30% cut of every game sold on Steam, and I think this is way too high. I have talked about this before, and a lot of people like to defend Valve and say they can take that much if they want to. But here's the way I see it. If you're a game developer and you put a bunch of time and money into a game, I think 30% for just putting it on the store is way too high. Now, I do agree that Valve does a lot more than a lot of different platforms that also charge 30%, like Apple and Google. Like, for example, if you have a multiplayer game, Valve will host the servers and basically have it be a seamless experience. That's worth a lot of money. But the thing is, Valve's operating costs and how much they earn from this 30% cut are nowhere near the same amount. They make way more money from this 30% cut than they're spending at Steam, and I don't think Valve shouldn't make a profit at all, but I just think the amount of profit they're making is like way too high. It's like 70% or something like that. Like, if I was a game developer, I would want a cheaper cut on Steam, and I want game developers who make really good games to get paid for making the games they make. I just think 30% is way too high for what Valve is offering. I wish it was lower. Now, I want to be clear that I don't think Valve is some insanely anti-competitive company. I think they're really good for consumers as well. Like, if you're a Steam user, it's fantastic. The service almost never goes down. There's sales constantly, and when it does go down, it's scheduled maintenance every Tuesday. Like, it's predictable. Like, using Steam as someone who buys games is great. There's a reason Epic Games and Uplay and stuff have never taken off, and it's because they suck. Like, just because Valve's competition sucks doesn't make Valve an anti-competitive company. It is honestly a little insane how bad the competition has been for Valve over the years. Like, you had Origin first, and that was the worst one. Like, EA basically was like, hey, why are we giving Steam this 30% cut when we can do it ourselves? And they made Origin, and no one wanted to use it. Like, almost every major publisher made their own game store at some point that they've now basically discontinued because they realized no one wants to download their game stores to buy their game. And the Epic Game Store was supposed to be actual competition for Valve, but Epic Games completely threw. I don't know why they did any of that. Like, Epic Games had Fortnite, and you had to download the Epic Games launcher to get Fortnite. They had all these users already ready to go to a store if they launched one. But everything about the experience at Epic Games is just worse. It's not worth using. Like, the Epic Games Store is so bad that when they do a big sale for a game, the Steam sales for that game go up because no one wants to use the Epic Games Store launcher. Like, Valve is just a better launcher for people to use for games. That doesn't make them anti-competitive. But not allowing people to undercut Steam prices is anti-competitive, and charging a 30% fee for all games sold is kind of excessive. Like, let's be honest about that. But we'll see where the lawsuit goes. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you're new. Click the notification for more of my content, and have a good one.